Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Comic Book Geezers. I'm your host, Pete, and my co-host...
I'm Wild Bill, the Unknown Comic. Thank you for joining us again. We have another episode. This was of new acquisitions of my horror comic books.
Yeah, this is a Bill show, so we got all sorts of cool, grisly
Creepy
stuff
monsters.
coming up.
Speaking of creepy...
How about the Creeper?
The Creeper. Artwork by Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to find that out on the inside. Steve Ditko, didn't you used to work for Marvel? So I guess these guys flip-flop back and forth.
He did for
This is the Creeper, by the way, the character. This is issue number 7, which was kind of like a version of Marvel's Spotlight or Marvel Premiere. Different characters each issue in DC first issue special.
And what did we say, ran 11 issues or something
like that, yeah. Moving right along.
Sticking with DC, look at that.
The Swamp Thing. How can you go wrong with for $1 at a flea market? It's not Bernie Wrightson. This is after Bernie Wrightson. This is like issue 13, I believe. Yes, issue 13. But I thought this was a great cover, so I jumped on it. I liked it.
Can't go wrong with Swamp Thing or Man Thing.
Now we get a little bit more interesting. I get excited. I've been after this book for so long. We've talked about it. I think Pete has shown it in other episodes.
Yep.
But you said they don't meet each other. I haven't read it yet, but it's obviously 2 stories. I got a Human Torch issue. So this is basically two comics.
Yeah, spoiler alert, the cover is actually better than the storyline inside, but it's still kind of cool. Because
and it's number one of the giant-size Spider-Man editions, which came out in the mid-'70s. They did 6 of them.
Yeah.
And now I have 3 out of the 6.
Great cover, by the way. I always love that cover. Speaking of Swamp guys.
The Man Thing.
Marvel's version.
He showed up in this title, Adventure into Fear, in issue number 10, but I got issue number 11. I have 13 through 18. Issue 19 is hard to get a hold of. And then issue 20 becomes Morbius. But I don't have that, but I have 22 and 23, but I needed 24. So I got Morbius the Vampire, and of course he fights Blade. And I also needed the last 2 issues, which was issue 30. I've seen this in flea markets all faded. But I was like, I'll wait till I get a good copy, and I'm glad I did. And the last Morbius in Adventure into Fear. This is where the title ends, actually.
Yeah.
With this issue 31.
Rumor has it that Sony Pictures is going to do a Morbius movie.
That'll be great. I also got a lot of Frankenstein books. I didn't show them all, but I have all 18 now.
Nice.
So this was really cool.
Mike Plug.
This one I was a little disappointed when I got it because it was listed as a very good comic. And I'm trying to show you here. There was a black magic marker all over this comic. Someone took and wrote like a trident, like 3 prongs, and someone wrote a cross here and another straight line. So I had 4 vertical lines going up and the 5th line coming across. All black magic marker.
Did your magic eraser
I took... One of the lines was right here.
Yeah, that you can kind of see.
But most of it all came off. But yeah, I was really pissed because I spent like a decent amount of money on this book, and then to have it show up with magic marker all over it, and there was no comments about the magic marker. So maybe they pulled from a 2 stack instead of a 4 and gave me a 2.
Possibly.
But thank God I got it off.
So now that you completed your Frankenstein,
and I had issue number 1, but I needed number 2. I've seen this as much as $40, $20 minimum, and I got it for like $5 or $6. What's it say? $5.75?
$5.78, which is kind of weird.
Which includes shipping.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Werewolf by Night number 12.
Yes.
I like the back scene.
The back seat of the car.
The backseat werewolf driver. You don't want one of those. They're worse than your regular backseat drivers. Issue 16.
Mike Plug alert.
Yes.
I love that cover. I love that issue too.
Number 16 or 12?
This one you're showing right now.
This is Plug?
Yeah, that's Mike Plug. I just love the Werewolf by Night comic.
Awesome, great covers, man.
I only need number 32. I got all the other ones.
I don't. I only have about 20 issues now. I'm slowly growing. I need 1, 2, and 4. I also needed issue 8. This was considered good, but it did have a little bit of a
crease.
That's
another fantastic Plug cover.
This is fantastic, is right. He did a great job with this one. Number 10. This is also great artwork.
Yeah, those old Werewolf by Nights. The title got kind of weird towards the end, but man, those early ones, great stuff.
More werewolf action from Creatures on the Loose with Man-Wolf. This is, I think, his third issue. I think he showed up in issue 29. was his first appearance. I've seen this in flea markets in really, really bad shape. I just love the werewolf behind in the back seat with the cops. When I found out it was Creatures on the Loose, I was like, I have to get it.
What's his name? John Jameson? Is that what
Yeah, it was his son.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that.
More
DC.
obscure DC comics from Beyond the Unknown. I like how this guy's drawing a picture of this monster, and the same monster is going to show up and wreck him. That's just, I love it. That's like so Twilight Zone. Just love the cover. There's actually 3 different reprints of stories. DC is just like Marvel. They do reprints of old stories from the 50s and 60s.
Which number is that one?
This one is number 24. This is also cool. The Phantom and the Stranger.
Yeah.
Got this from our buddy Kirk.
Phantom Stranger meets Frankenstein.
Yeah. Look at the Frankenstein artwork.
Yeah.
Kind of cheesy. You need to go back and look at your notes. That's what I say. I look at the Phantom. He looks so much better. He's just a shadow on a brick wall.
Yeah.
But what a lame looking. That has to be the worst looking Frankenstein I've ever seen.
It's like a really skinny,
comic
long-haired
history.
Hulk.
It is. If his pants were purple, they might have got sued. But speaking of Marvel and DC, another great classic Jack Kirby production, The Demon. I was able to get them all. I only need issue number 1. I had only 3 issues, so I went and banged out and got.
I don't have any of these, and I saw him pull these out of the.
I got another 12 issues. Look at this cover, man.
That is just spectacular.
This is issue number 3. I had 2, 4, and 12. 12 was the first one that I had. Now I just need issue number 1, but that's going to run me like $30 or $40, and I just don't have it right now.
We had one of our viewers recently told us that he was not as enamored with Jack Kirby as we are, and I'm like, I don't get that at all.
Wow.
How can you not like Jack Kirby?
Look at this. How could you not like this?
Oh.
Is it too squared off? I don't like... That comment from that viewer, whoever said it, I would say that about Todd McFarlane and his Spider-Man art. I don't like it, and I don't like his Hulk art. Is really ridiculously bad.
I mean, teach his own, I guess. But
yeah,
Jack Kirby is like
Jack Kirby. I mean, here's
pedestal.
another great example. I love the magic, the evil magic coming out of the magician's.
Look at those mitts. I mean, look at those claws.
That jawline,
Yep.
the cape.
Great.
I mean, this guy. Back in the day, it might look like, comic book cheesy, but now that Jack Kirby is no longer with us. By the way,
Look at that.
I heard he was a wonderful person.
Yes.
This is what I was told.
Yeah.
I met somebody recently that met him, had actually hung out with him, and said he was like one of the nicest guys. You'd ever want to meet Jack Kirby.
Plus, Joe Sinnott told us that as well.
Yes.
And I take his word.
Look at this.
That's great.
This is the last issue, I believe. This is issue 16, the last of the Demon issues. This came out monthly, so this didn't even last 18 months, sadly.
Great stuff. That's a good score there.
I had to get this because Topps did a 3-part Dracula, and you'll notice Jack Kirby's name is up on top of this because he was involved with the trading cards. I don't know. They're back there somewhere. It might be,
Yeah, they
right
are.
there.
Very cool.
But I have the first 2 issues, and I got issue 1 when it came off the newsstand, and this came bagged and sealed. This book has not been opened. Affordable, but I needed the 3rd one to complete the 3-part set, so I'm glad I got that. Also completed this run with this issue number 15 of Supernatural Thrillers.
The Living Mummy.
The Living Mummy dominated most of this story. Out of the 15 issues, he was in 10 of them, I think, or at least
a whole bunch of
9 of them. He was in issue 5 and issue 7 on up. So, great cover.
I love the character. I found some of the stories kind of lame, but still a great character. I wish they did more with
I
it.
saved this one for last because it looks the best.
That's awesome.
This is awesome. I truly bought this because of the cover.
Why wouldn't you?
This is just phenomenal.
Who could pass that up? I know you or I couldn't, but I mean, seriously.
Crypt of Shadows. Now, I only have issue number 2, but this, I think Crypt of Shadows went like 18 issues. I'm not exactly sure. It might have went into the early. This is the hottest looking cover out of the whole entire run. I love this cover. This is great.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So this is the love. This kind of exemplifies what I've been talking about, the love for the horror comic books. I mean, just look at that. It's just so creepy. I love even the little icon up here. This is this is the icon in the upper right hand corner, like they were doing for comics back in the day. Like if it was Spider-Man, it'd be Spider-Man up here. But that is the candlestick and the skull. You just can't top it. And this is what brings out the...
You got the hat floating in the water and the oar, and then you got this, like...
What's this, his will over here?
I guess, yeah.
You know? And this guy putting the last hammer nail in the casket. It's awesome. The Grim Reaper and the little haunted castle up in the background.
Yep.
The big moon. The mist on the water. I mean, it's just
Have you
awesome.
read this yet?
Yes, I have. It's
Yeah.
got actually 3 different reprints in here.
Okay.
And the first story is about this guy that wants to go across to an island because he's a werewolf and he doesn't want to hurt anybody. So he goes to this master guy who's a row expert. He wins all kinds of boat races. So the werewolf guy approaches him and goes, "Look, the moon's going to turn full. I'm going to pay you to take me across the river. But the only catch is I can't get wet because if I get wet, I'm going to attack you because it makes me violent as a werewolf. So you can't get any water on me. That means I can't get wet. I can't step into the water to get into the boat." So the boat guy takes up the offer and is hired by the werewolf to take him across the river. So he piggybacks the werewolf on his back, puts him in the boat. It's not quite full moon yet. He gets him across the river in record time before the moon rises. He gets him across, delivers him across safely, piggybacks him out of the boat, through the water, onto dry land. And then the werewolf attacks him and kills him because it starts raining. And the rain drives the werewolf nuts and he kills the guy because it starts raining. He got wet. Great story.
That's awesome.
Really good. I didn't know that werewolves weren't supposed to get wet. Which was
I never heard that either.
Great twist of bullshit in the story, but it worked because the guy got killed at the end.
Yeah.
So this kind of signifies the oarsman, but without the hood. But yeah, good stuff.
That's awesome.
And that's this edition of My Monster Horror Books. Again, this Wild Bill saying thanks for being here with us.
And I'm Pete. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it.
And send us your comments. We love your feedback, and thank you for all your support. We hope you
right.
like what we're doing.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.
Take
Peace.
care. Bye.